Hi, Jack here with Buzz Beekeeping Supply, and we're here today to talk about wax moths. And you'll find out in just a minute the reason why. Now, there are two different types of wax moths. There's the greater wax moth and then the lesser wax moth. The greater wax moth measures about 1.5 inches long, and then the lesser wax moth weighs about 1/2 inch. The greater wax moth is kind of a mottled gray, and the lesser wax moth is more of a white or silver. Neither one, of course, is bee friendly. You can take a look here. This is a colony I just discovered. It is not doing well at all. And you can see some infestation here. Now, both species prefer to mate at night and lay eggs, and the eggs hatch into larvae, and they become cocoons after about 19 days. And if it's warm weather like it here in Georgia, the pupa become adult males after about 14 days. And the question is, how do you know if your hive is infested with wax moths? Well, this is what it looks like. Let's take a look. Right here. The most defining feature of the wax moth infection is the sticky web. And they leave this behind until they consume all the wax in the hive. And there's a real big debate about whether wax moths really kill a hive or just take over the hive because it's either poorly maintained, diseased, a hive with declining colonies, or absconded. And one way to tell, and we're going to find out in just a second here, is to open it up. Take the layers off, the super's off here, and you can see here, here on the bottom in the frame, you will be able to see in just a second what this looks like. Right here, it pretty much all looks the same. The bees are still in this. You can see a little larva right there. See if we see anything else here. Here we go. And I will move this one here. That's not a pretty sight. All pretty much looks the same. Now, in a healthy colony, they barely do any harm because the bees seem to take care of the hive, and they remove the wax that has the moth larvae in it. This is the brew box. As you can see, there's basically nothing left. I'll clean this one out. There's still some wax comb. take a look at the bottom board here, you can take a look here and see, I don't see any dead bees, but I do see the larva from the wax moth. Now you want to keep the wax moths away from stored honeycomb because honeybees can refill the drawn comb and eliminate the build, to have to build it from scratch. Now, there are two methods you can use to protect your honeycomb from wax moths. The first method is freeze your frames because the wax moth larva won't survive in freezing temperatures. You simply put your frames in a plastic bag, put the bag in a freezer, and leave it for 2 days. And then after that, you can store them in an airtight storage container. The second method is basically ventilation and light. Wax moths love tiny, dark places with minimal air circulation. So you can store your frames in a well-lit area with plenty of ventilation. So if you have an infestation, placing the frames in direct sunlight will force the larva to exit the honeycomb. As you can see, the larva is barely moving here. And as always, prevention is always better than the cure. There's a link in the description to an article that tells you how to make a wax moth trap. And there is a wax moth here. If you can see it coming in and out of the hive. Let's see if we can find one of them. Right here is a wax moth. Right there. And that is the wax moth right there. Her and her friends killed this colony. That's all for today. So I hope you find value in this information and want to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Good luck and happy beekeeping.